Welcome back. Fox Carolina investigates tonight the price of progress. Greenville can't seem to stay off those top 10 lists of best places to live, work, and play, but some of the area's poorest residents say they lose when Greenville grows. Older homes are often torn down to make way for new construction, homes that had been affordable for low-income residents. When followed properly, the process to evict renters and tear down the homes is absolutely legal, but what happens to those people who must then find another affordable place to live? Well, Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips is here in studio. So, Jen, you're going to show us how this process works through the story of one renter, right?
Yeah, you're about to meet Carolyn Anderson, who lives on Sullivan Street in Greenville. A company bought the home she lives in on January 31st, and within days gave her notice that she needed to move. The company has made offers to help her financially and to help her with packing and moving. But she says the offered contract provided a long-term solution for someone in her financial situation. This may be one of the last times Carolyn Anderson sits on this porch.
My thing is where am I going is with my son to keep him safe.
She's lived in this neighborhood more than 30 years and on Sullivan Street for more than 14. It's the place she and her autistic son, Tario, call home. But after she paid February's rent, she got this notice on February 5th, which states she has to go. Anderson says someone acting as an agent for the new owner of the house offered her $1,000 to leave the home and drove her around to look for a place to live. She says the places the man offered were either too high in rent or too dangerous for her autistic son.
I kept telling him I don't want him near highways because he walks with his head down and he don't pay attention.
The new property owner, a company called International Palm, sent Fox Carolina this letter stating that they bought the home on January 31st, just days before Anderson received that notice on February 5th. In the letter, they state they did offer Anderson $1,000 plus a refund on February's rent, help with packing and moving, and the full amount of first month's rent, and a deposit on a new apartment if Anderson agreed to move immediately. The letter also states that International Palm attempted to honor Anderson's request to stay close to her current neighborhood. It also states they offered to put a nearby apartment in the name of their corporation for her. They say Anderson turned down the offer for that apartment. Anderson told Fox Carolina she turned it down because once the corporation's name comes off the lease, she won't be able to qualify for that apartment on her own and would be left with nowhere to go. International Palm tells us that after it was clear to them that Anderson wasn't going to leave, they filed for an eviction. Here's the paperwork concerning that eviction notice. A judge dismissed it and required the property owners to give 30 days notice for Anderson to vacate. And International Palm says they have complied. Anderson says shortly after that ruling, the owners gave her 24 hours notice that they wanted to do a walkthrough of the home. 24 hours is the proper amount required by state law. She says after those 24 hours lapsed, 2 people showed up to do the walkthrough.
He said he wanted to get that part of that floor fixed so my son won't fall through.
Anderson says she mentioned the hole in the floor to the previous owner. She says the 2 men walked through the home. Then she says she left, came back, and found a condemnation notice on the door.
They tried to intimidate me. I'm just sick of them.
We went to the city code's office to get more information on the condemnation notice. We found the violations listed include roof issues, rotting siding on the home, electrical problems, and other issues.
I said, oh, Lord, this man gonna do everything he can to just literally throw me out any way he can get me out.
In their letter to Fox Carolina, International Palm wrote, while Ms. Anderson may have legitimate issues, her issues were not caused by me, Mark Day, or International Palm. As a business owner and as a company, we are under no obligation to leave the property in a dilapidated state so that Ms. Anderson can continue to pay rent at $350, which is far below market rate. As a property owner, I am well within my rights to demolish this property and develop a home and sell to a buyer of my own choosing if my wife and I don't decide to live in the residence ourselves. Anderson says she received this new notice from International Palm, which is dated March 12th, giving her 30 days notice to leave, as was required by the judge.
Our neighborhoods, the social fabric, the culture of our communities is being destroyed with no regard.
Community activist Sophia Wangaza says there is hot property in the neighborhood because of $600,000 homes being developed. She says gentrification is a growing problem in predominantly minority, low-income urban neighborhoods.
Total outrage that there has been no provisions for the most vulnerable.
She's a family friend and wants to help the Andersons, but says there aren't any affordable or accessible housing for them in the city.
We have gone to every potential resource reference. Their response, careless response, is that they have a waiting list and you can get on the waiting list.
She says it won't stop if no one does anything about it. So for now, she'll help Carolyn and Tario pack up.
He see me crying, now he crying and he want to know what's wrong, but you know, I'm trying to tell him I said, you need to pack up stuff, we got to leave.
So we do want to point out that we had several follow-up questions that we emailed to International Palm. In response to those questions, Christopher Jones, one of the owners of International Palm, said they couldn't comment further and cited ongoing litigation. He has filed a lawsuit for slander and libel against Carolyn Anderson and activist Sophia Wangaza. As for Anderson, she says she knows she has to leave and is looking for a new home. Cody?